Hello everyone and welcome back to the next episode on how to create your own programming language. So I said I was going to add the for statement in this episode and add the while statement in the next episode, but I'm actually going to add the while statement in this episode as well because they're both similar to the if statement, so we'll have it done very quickly. So the for statement is going to look identical to that in the basic language, so we'll have for var name equals start value to end value, then expression. So an example here is we create a variable called result equal to 1, and then we iterate between 0 and 10, and we just assign result to what result currently is multiplied by I. And this is just a very simple factorial implementation. So this example should work at the end of the video. So the while statement is much simpler. We just have while, condition, then expression. I also forgot to say for the for statement that we can put in a step here to change what the increment is every iteration. So we'll start as usual by updating the tokens. So we're just going to add in a few more keywords here. So we're going to have for, to, step, and then while. And again in this episode we don't have to make any changes to the lexer. So the next thing to do is update the grammar, and I've just added in a new for expression and while expression, which appears inside the atom rule. So for the for expression we have a for keyword, an identifier for the variable name, equals, and then an expression for the initial value, and then we have a to keyword and another expression for the ending value. We then optionally have a step followed by another expression, and we are also going to allow negative numbers for this value. And finally we have the then keyword followed by an expression which is evaluated on every iteration. So then for the while expression we have a while keyword, an expression for the condition which runs on each iteration, and then we have the then keyword, and then we have the expression which is only evaluated every time the condition is true. So this time we're going to add in our new nodes first before we update the parser. So we'll start with the for node, and in the initialize method we're going to need to take in a var name token, which is going to be the name of the variable in the for statement. We are then going to need a start value node, so this is the value it will start off at, and then an end value node, which is the value it will go up to. We'll also have a step value node, so this could be none if no step is provided. And then finally we have the body node, so this is what gets evaluated on every iteration. So I've just added in all these assignments for each variable. And now finally our node is going to need a position start and position end. So we'll use the var name token for the position start, and for the position end we'll use the body node's position end. So now we'll add in the while node. So this one only has to take in two values. That will be the condition node and then the body node. So I've assigned those to self.condition node and self.body node. So now for the position start, that will be the condition node's position start, and the position end will be the body node's position end. So now we'll come down to the atom method in the parser. So we now want to be able to look for a for and while keyword. So we'll check if the token is a keyword with the value of for, and now we can actually just copy this up here because it's the same thing. So we'll change this to for expression, and the same thing over here and here, and then we'll copy this for the while expression. So we'll change that to while, we'll change this to while expression, and we'll just copy and paste that over here and here. So all we have to do now in the parser is add in the for expression and while expression methods, so I'm just going to paste them in a second. You should be able to just figure it out by going through the grammar rules, but I will go through them now in a second. Okay, so I've pasted them both in, so we'll start with the for expression. So we're just looking for a for keyword, and if we don't find one, we go ahead and return an error, and then we advance. So after that we want to look for an identifier for the variable name, so if we do find one we'll just assign it to var name, and then we advance again. We then look for an equals token, we advance, and then we want our starting value expression, so we assign this to start value. Then we want the to keyword, and we advance again, and we want the end value, so that's going to be another expression. So we'll optionally have the step followed by another expression, so we just check here if there's a step keyword. If there is, we advance, and then we get the step value, which is just another expression. If there is no step keyword, then we just set the step value to none. So after that, we want a then keyword, we advance again, and then we want another expression for the body. So at the end of the method, we just return a for node, and we pass in all these variables. So we have the var name, start value, end value, step value, and body. So next we have the while expression method. So we're looking for a while keyword, and we advance, and then we want a condition. So this is going to be an expression. We then look for a then keyword and advance, and then we want the body expression of the while node. So we just go ahead and return a new while node, and we just pass in the condition and body. So finally we have to update the interpreter. So I've just gone ahead and pasted in some visit methods for the new nodes. So for the visit for node method, we visit the start value node, and we assign that to start value, and we do the same thing for end value. If we have a step value node, we do the same thing then again. But if we don't, we just assign the step value to a number with the value of 1. So that's the default step value. So we now create a variable called I, and that's just going to be the value of the start value. So our step value could be positive or negative, so we're checking here if it's greater than 0, so if it is positive. If that's the case, we would need to keep going until I is less than the end value. But if the step value is negative, then we're going downwards, so we need to check while I is greater than the end value. So depending on whether it is positive or negative, we set the condition variable appropriately. So we just do while condition, and in each iteration of the loop we need to assign the variable name value to the value of I, so that we can access it from within the loop. So we just use the symbol table to do that. We then increment I by the step value, and then we evaluate the body node by visiting it. So then at the end we just return a value of none, and in the future, once we add list types to our language, we're just going to return a list type, which will be populated with every value that has been evaluated. So now we have the while node method, so we just create an infinite loop, and in each iteration we evaluate the condition node, and then we go ahead and check if the condition is not true, then we just break out of this loop. But as long as the condition is true, we just go ahead and evaluate the body node. So at the end we still return none, and we will again change this to lists in the future. So that should be everything now, so we're going to go ahead and run the program. So we'll try our for loop example from earlier, so we'll create a result variable starting at 1, and we'll go for I equals 0 to 6, and it's not inclusive, so that will only actually go up to 5. And then what we're going to do is assign results to what result currently is multiplied by I. So what this basically should do, and actually I should change this to I equals 1. So what this is going to do is do 1 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 4 multiplied by 5. And invalid syntax, let's see, I forgot to put the var keyword. So var result equals result multiplied by. So if we do that, and we type in result, yes, we get a value of 120. So that shows that the first statement is working. And of course we do not have a clear command in our language. I also want to show that we can do negative step values, so I'll start I at 5, and I'll go all the way down to 0, and I'll do a step of -1. So I'll again do var result equals result multiplied by I, and this should give us the same result, 120. So now we look at the while statement. So if we just do while true, and we just put in any old value, so 1, 2, 3, you can see it goes on forever. Now we don't have any print statement or anything in our language right now, so we can't see anything coming up on the screen, but you can see the while true loop is working. And now you might be able to hear that my computer is heating up. So if we just do a while loop up to 100,000, that should take a few seconds to complete. So you can see it completed after a few seconds, so that means it is doing the full 100,000 iterations. So that's going to be it for this video. So in the next episode we are going to be finally adding in functions, and that's going to improve our language a lot. I think after that then we will be adding a few new variable types, and then we'll be coming close to the end of the series. So if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button, and I suppose if you didn't enjoy the video, then hit the dislike button. So thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next episode.